Count the memories, but not the calories. But I think these days people forget about the memories, they count the calories more, है ना? So, counting calories can actually help people reach and maintain their weight and fitness goals. So, it actually involves how much energy is going in your body every day, right? So there are like several apps and online tools which can estimate how much daily calorie a person needs to reach their goals and help them day by day. I just feel that the introduction of calorie counting meals in every menu is so common these days, especially in London or America or Canada, or I think all over the world. It's become easy for us and to decide on what we want to eat. You become more conscious of what you put in your body, mindfulness. And then this newfound knowledge can gives you more control over not just your body weight, but how you feel. You understand what your food calorie counts are made of, and you can make better choices. Calorie counting helps us to learn which food serves what purpose, and what should be eating, what should we be eating at what time. So it's life has become more easy now. It can also cause a little bit of anxiety and stress if it begins to impact, for an individual, if it begins to impact, our daily lives. The goal of calorie counting diet is to stay within a target of number of calories each day. If you happen to be confused about whether calorie counting is effective or not, then you definitely need to listen to this podcast. Yes, exactly. This is what we're going to be talking. This is what the podcast is about today. So welcome to Amzzstoptalking. I'm Amara Ahmed, and today we're talking about healthy eating, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, how to go about it, protein shakes. And we have with us Nada, who's here in London from Lahore. She owns a restaurant there by the name of Noon Bistro. And she moved from London to Lahore. So I caught her in London. I was like, okay, come on, we need to do this podcast on healthy eating, calorie counting, because now people, I think, have become more conscious about it. So we will catch you after the break, and we will listen to what Nada has to say, and she will give us her input about how to stay healthy and how to manage the whole eating habits and how to manage the gym and how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So see you guys after the break, inshallah. Hi guys, I'm back after the break. So we have Nada here with us, and we'll be discussing about her restaurant in Lahore, which is called Noon Bistro, as I mentioned earlier. And she'll be telling us all about herself and about her move and about calorie counted meals, because there's so many restaurants nowadays which we actually want to go and not gain weight. So Nada is going to tell us about how to control that. So hi Nada, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So tell us something about yourself first.
So I have a very sporty and athletic background. I grew up with two brothers, and I did every sports you can name off the top of your head. I was house captain at school, so it was my job to encourage other girls to get involved in sport and to be active.
Wow.
And
then again you opened a calorie counted restaurant. That's like a total opposite of being sporty.
Well, it's not the opposite, and I think it complements it.
Really?
Because so my husband is involved in Shapes.
Okay.
And their family owns the brand.
Okay.
And for us, my husband and I were very big gym buffs. We do a lot of strength training. We do a lot of resistance training, and for I don't know if you know this, but I'm also like a national champion as well.
Oh, amazing. I really didn't know that. So guys, she's also a national champion.
Yeah, I'm a national champion.
So we have a celebrity with us, actually.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say celebrity Hamari athletes unless they're involved in cricket. I think
you're right. Yeah.
Those guys are more like deemed as celebrities as per se. But मुझे तो interest था.
अच्छा.
I used to box at university, and I got an opportunity to take it up again. and I was encouraged to take part in the nationals in November 21.
Okay.
And I managed to bag a gold in my weight class.
Wow.
And I would have continued otherwise.
So why didn't you?
Well, I'm expecting at the moment.
Okay,
so
maybe later.
I have to take the season off, unfortunately. But inshallah, I'm hoping that
But then how did you move? Like you were in London. How did you meet your husband? How did you how was that? How did that kind of happen?
So my family's very diverse and multicultural. We're expatriates.
Yeah.
I would say. I was born in Canada. I was raised in Saudi.
Okay.
I went to school in Oxford. After sixth form in Oxford, I went to London. I went to King's. So I kind of been all over the place. And hamare liye, we had like sort of certain bases that we had made along the way.
Yeah.
So hamara ye tha ke we would always be traveling back and forth to Pakistan. We'd be traveling back and forth to Saudi, which is still the case. And obviously London, because both of my brothers are now based here.
Okay.
So for us, I met him, I think, through mutual friends, and we really hit it off. We had a lot in common, and
Then you guys decided
we decided
How was your
to-
move to Lahore?
I suppose because I was sort of coming back and forth, it wasn't so much of a
Lahore
culture
social
shock.
life is like
very different.
Very different, yeah.
I keep myself very busy. As you can see, I juggle children, I juggle my interests, I juggle my, obviously my physical health. I prioritize that, and the social life sort of comes
With
along.
it, along with it. Yeah,
exactly.
makes sense, yeah.
So whoever we can align with in terms of like, I don't know, whatever we have in common, whether that's food, whether that's, activities, and whatnot, that's how
So
it is.
how did you come up with this idea of this calorie counted? Because your restaurant, I'm sure, is doing really well in Lahore. I've had some
Thank you
really
so
good
much.
reviews, and people are loving the food. You've just started breakfast, I think brunch also.
We just started breakfast.
So tell us,
So we wanted to introduce this concept because my husband and I, like I said, we're massive gym buffs and we're very conscious about what we eat.
Yeah.
Although, having said that, he's a Kashmiri and I'm also...
Kashmiris love to eat.
Oh, they love to eat.
Exactly.
But he's very cautious of what he went through a weight loss journey himself.
Oh, okay.
So with that, he was Mr. gluten-free and, he had these certain food intolerances and whatnot. So we really had to be careful about what to sort of eat and how to approach food, although we love enjoying wholesome food as well.
Okay.
So for us, the whole concept revolves around nutrition, first and foremost, portion control, and then obviously with that, you're sort of doing a rough calorie count of approximately how much you should be consuming, and that number obviously depends on
your body weight,
on your body type, your body weight, your metabolism, your food conditions, whether you are intolerant to wheat or dairy. So everything kind of varies. And when we initially started Noon Juice, we offered very detailed assessments.
But did you start it in shapes only, or you started with the restaurant?
So I actually started at home.
Oh, okay, at home.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and I was doing DIY salad kits during COVID.
Okay.
And at that time, I had my second newborn with me.
Okay.
And it started off as kind of like a joke. A friend of mine sort of egged me on and said that she used to work for Sunday Times, and she's like, "Oh, you should definitely do it. I'll just put up a post and make up a page." And sooner or later, I started receiving actual orders from actual strangers.
So people are now actually interested in these salads and gluten-free and veggies and.
I mean, over the years, I would cook for my own in-laws, and because I used to cook a lot when I was in London, easy breezy recipes, and I would love to have salads and things that were light during the summer months, and they really appreciated it. And a lot of people, I think, slowly appreciated it because it wasn't something that was so common in Lahore at the time. Mashallah, you're seeing it everywhere, which is great.
Which is great, yeah. But the recipes, how do you come up with those? Like,
I think it's just it's all about seasonality.
Okay.
And in Pakistan, you have such great produce that comes in different seasons. So you're encouraged to have kali gajar, and one season you're encouraged to have sort of I guess pumpkin and whatnot in the winter months and the fall months. So it really depends on what you're getting seasonality.
So usually people say that you shouldn't eat after 7 or 6.
It's a good rule of thumb, but I don't think in Pakistan I don't think it's practical.
It's practical, yeah.
But if you can,
but people have now become so conscious that they hardly eat when they go out. Like if they're at parties, or even like my friends, wherever they are, if you go to a gathering, they wouldn't touch the food, even at weddings.
Because they're probably controlling what they're eating.
Yeah. So your restaurant is like giving us. Do you have calorie counted written on the menu?
Everything is calorie counted. We've included it on our website. Currently, we are working on reprinting the menus, and we'll have the calories.
So you do this all by yourself. You know how much.
So my husband is a certified nutritionist, and we have like an entire panel of professionals that work with us.
Okay.
So we not only calculate the macros ourselves, we have them second checked by. We have them like tested by another set of experts. So our I would say that we have like maybe a 5% variation at most in terms of the calories or the macros, let's say, because obviously it depends. You get variation in the kitchen. Sometimes they're not portioning out correctly, and sometimes if people call us out, we investigate, and we make sure that we rectify it if there is sort of any variance. But obviously, like working in a kitchen and whatnot, these things happen.
But opening a restaurant in Pakistan, in Lahore, there's a lot of competition.
There is a lot of competition. There are a lot of people that take inspiration from us.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
With regards
but you have
to
that, keep up the standards of like.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Every single time, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I take criticism very, very seriously. So if anybody has sort of like even maybe a little tiny thing to say, I give it my utmost attention and consideration. And because the thing is, satisfaction is something that isn't really given a lot of importance in Pakistan. There is no concept of service, customer service. There's no concept of high gastronomy, like to the extent that we're not really on that sort of level. Hamara ye ki we want to do good food, we want to do
healthy food,
nutritious food that's nutrient dense. People aren't getting the nutrients they need from the food. अक्सर ये होता है कि people will have maybe something meetha in the morning with their chai, and they'll avoid eating the entire
all day. Yes,
and they don't
happens.
realize the
You should have meals at small intervals, I think.
Not necessarily whatever works for you. You need to be making sure you're getting a certain minimum amount of calories inside.
Exactly.
Otherwise, your
and
metabolism
it all depends on your
fat.
body, right?
Absolutely. Everyone has a different requirement in terms of their macros. Everyone has a different goal. So for us, the challenge was...
How are we supposed to calculate that goal? How many calories do we need in a day?
I would suggest that I would recommend this to anybody. They would go to a nutritionist and they would have their weight measured. BMI is a very rough idea. I wouldn't consider that as like a very accurate way, but it gives you a nice sort of like snapshot. Acha, this is where I'm at. But I would suggest going to a nutritionist, assessing your intolerances, your allergies, because that's something that can develop at any point. And first and foremost, maybe consult an expert at the gym as well to see what your body type is, how much body fat you have.
But you need to have some trained people at the gym, who can actually help you out with these things.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Shapes is doing it, but I don't know about any other gym in the
I'm
world.
sure other gyms
maybe Structure, and there are like so many now.
I can't speak for any other gyms, but I do know at Shapes that like with my own personal trainer, I measure my body fat percentage. I have a rough idea of my BMI, and I closely monitor like my weight, but obviously I'm not obsessed over it. I closely monitor.
But there are people in Lahore or all over the world who actually don't eat all day long, and they want to not eat, and they think that's why they lose weight. Does that actually
it's
help?
Not a healthy.
It's not a people it really doesn't help.
It's not a healthy or conducive way of losing weight or maintaining your health and strength. अब ये सारी लड़कियां जो नहीं खाती हैं, they have problems later on.
Exactly.
Trying to conceive. Or even basic health issues that are cropping up. A lot of our clientele, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people younger than myself perhaps that have issues, that complain of issues of uric acid, thyroid, IBS. These are all really big conditions that are obviously associated with an imbalance in terms of like eating the wrong things and also eating at the wrong times or avoiding eating altogether. So it needs to be like a careful balance, I think, between all of those things.
Yeah, but people don't eat these days.
Well, I mean, I think once you kind of...
what is the fasting thing that
intermittent fasting?
Can you explain that a bit?
So intermittent fasting basically focuses on the concept of eating within small windows, in very specific windows. With Ramzan coming up, a lot of people try to lose the weight and control.
But you don't, because you have so many pakoras and so many...
those are fried things.
Fried
so obviously,
things. But then people do control also. They can have your food from your noon bistro.
I can tell you the gyms are packed. We were offering
Really, even in Ramadan.
packed during Ramadan. I mean, once you get used to working out while you're fasting, it's really just becomes routine.
Okay.
But each to his own. Some people come after, some people come before.
Okay.
So
how should people go about it in Ramadan? They should have like a proper
I think you should have a regimen. You should have like an idea. Okay, this is how many calories I want to consume. I don't really want to come out and step out of that window. And if you do step out of that window, then try to sort of make up for it by going to the gym and being a little active. You're sedentary the entire day, which I understand for people who work, but I feel like fluid intake is extremely important.
Yeah. But you have that time only to have the fluid intake, right? Between sehri and iftari.
But you can. I mean, at least a liter, 2 liters. That's like around maybe 8 to 10 glasses of water.
But is juice included in that or just water?
So water is the best. Coconut water is a great alternative if you feel very dehydrated and depleted of your fluids and your salts and whatnot.
And can we have like yogurt? They say is very healthy.
Yogurt is excellent because it keeps your stomach sort of optimum and sort of, functioning. I love it because it's a great source of probiotics, especially if you're having like ghar ke jama dahi. It's excellent.
It's excellent.
I totally live by a lot of these desi totkas.
Magar maine dekha hai na ki mere ghar mein bhi everybody has like parathas for sehri. And
do you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. I have parathas for sehri. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a wholesome meal. It's just that if you're having parathas day and night, but because you need something that's you need enough calories to keep you going for the rest of the day. Yeah.
But I just feel that people feel thirsty after having paratha. Don't you think so? I mean,
it could be. It depends how much if you have like a stuffing inside and there's a lot of salt in there, then that obviously is going to make you more thirsty.
Salt does it make you gain? I mean, people say everything should be like. What do you put like a lot of salt in your food?
I think it's good to practice a moderate intake of salt, and also we strictly at Noon Bistro we use pink salt. We use Himalayan salt, which is Pakistani salt.
Okay,
actually.
amazing. Yeah.
And we don't use anything that is processed or heavily, iodized, because that also in itself is not good for you.
Yeah.
Balki hamare jitne spices hai, I would encourage, and I think a lot of households do use khule spices.
Ab to itne stores mein khul gaye, tayyab hai.
They're doing khule spices. You take them, you grind them, you make your own spice mixes, you make your own garam masala. You make your own curry masala, and
but are you going to introduce desi meals in your because
let's see, maybe, because obviously I do realize that a lot of people, especially living in London, I feel that again, seasonality. So wherever you are location-wise, people crave different things.
Exactly.
The reason why I curated a menu that was ram-packed with salads and lobster rolls was because these are things that I was craving sitting in Lahore.
Yeah.
Or these are things that my husband would really crave because he's not a very big desi fan.
Okay.
Barbecue अलावा वो इतना ज़्यादा सालन निहारी इस तरह की चीज़ें नहीं खाया जाता, और
because he's a gym freak
he's a
also,
gym freak. He's a Kashmiri as well, I guess, and he's a little different in that respect, but I feel that also, you want to have naan with that kind of, it's comfort food, right, at its best. So you want to have naan, you want to have
so people want to have like calorie counted naan, and
you can't do it's very challenging, but
very challenging.
There's no reason why we can't think about stuff like that for the future.
Yeah, for the future, because it'll actually boost up your restaurant a bit more.
Oh yeah, for sure, because obviously you can't replace
because right
food.
Now I think you're catering to a certain kind of people who come to your restaurant, right?
Absolutely right.
But if you look at the masses, they probably don't even know what calorie
they don't appreciate it,
right?
and I think that's
for them it's like ye kya hai, because Lahoris are big eaters, like even Pakistanis all over.
They are probably I would say the most trickiest customer to cater for, because they don't understand necessarily the concept. They don't understand that everything has been calorie counted and portioned.
Exactly.
And the people working for us, our team, they don't hesitate to accommodate people if they do ask for it. So it's just a question of sort of communicating that.
And Lahore mein meetha bahut, they love desserts,
and that's something that is not exactly my forte. I'm not a pastry
but you
chef.
do also have a flourless cake or a brownie or a cookie, I think, because when I went to your restaurant I saw a cookie or a cake. You have something like that,
basically,
right?
we do chocolate almond protein cookies.
Okay.
And then we do a gluten-free cacao tart. So
Okay.
for those who don't know what cacao is, it's a natural, nutrient-dense superfood.
Okay.
And it basically comes from the cacao bean, which is
Okay.
what you use to make raw chocolate.
Okay.
And that is basically raw. It's like a raw form of chocolate that's been dehydrated in powder form.
Okay.
And it comes straight from South America.
Okay.
So it is extremely good for you, and it is wonderful. We use that to make our vegan chocolate bonbons as well.
Okay.
And
So we have vegan in Pakistan in your restaurant only,
Yep.
in Lahore, in Noon Bistro,
I
right?
do believe there's some other
But-
people offering like those varieties since
Yeah.
we've come out with
Yeah.
plant-based, which is excellent. I love seeing that there's more alternatives for this community, because there is a community and it's growing, and it's a very big
People
trend.
are actually now becoming very conscious about
Yeah.
what they want to eat and how they want to, portray themselves.
Not necessarily from just like sort of a trend perspective, but also some people have been cautioned about their intake of meat and protein,
Yeah.
especially red meat. So for those customers, we usually tend to advise that you should sort of balance your intake of meat by substituting with a few plant-based alternatives. So it's not so much ke acha bana sabzi kha rahe, but you're encouraging them to have a more balanced diet in that
So
regard.
basically, people say, "Okay, have green tea after you have eaten your food." Does that actually help also?
I think intake of like just hot water is great because it helps sort of cleanse your system. Like I know that the Chinese are they're very fixated on their green tea and their cleansing. We do a nice activated charcoal lemonade that we're launching again in the summer.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
that's also a really good form of a cleanse or a detox. But just an intake of hot water, if you decide to add green tea to it, if you decide to add sirka or like lemon, then that's just for flavor. Like it's a flavor enhancer. But really, hot water is a good cleansing sort of.
But as you age, you gain a lot of weight, right?
I guess because your metabolism, it does slow down with age.
Yeah. So do you think what works? You should have calorie counted meals, or you should do the gym also?
You must
What
do
is-
both.
What is best?
You must do
Because
both.
people say it's what you eat. 80% is what you eat.
Of course.
20% is exercise,
So
right?
it depends. So people who go to the gym, I feel that it helps maintain their metabolism.
Yeah.
So over time, you still feel like you'd have less health issues,
Yeah.
less joint issues, less of those issues. And if you complement that with a decent diet, if you're just sort of, agar aap hamare bade ko dekhe, they are also very cautious about what they eat
Yeah.
and
Now
what
they
time
are
and what
becoming, yeah.
time they eat
Exactly,
as well.
right?
And that goes a long way because you're looking at the long term.
Yeah.
If you really want to, if you're fixated about maintaining a good level of metabolism and your health, then you'd be looking to do a balance of both. So definitely, you don't have to go to the gym every day. Let's say
Like 3
make a
days.
habit 3-4 times a week, and then
What
again.
about walk? Does that help?
Walking does help. It's a form of cardio, which is great. But
Yeah.
the most efficient form of, I would suggest, would be resistance training. And
I mean, how many? If people don't want to go to the gym and are not fond of exercise, if they
just
only want to walk.
body weight exercises, brisk walking is great.
Okay.
Like, for instance, whenever we're on holiday, I think people underestimate, they think that they're eating a lot. But
Yeah.
if they're also walking at the same time, then that is also a form of
Yeah,
exercise.
like people say, you should do at least 10,000 steps a day.
It's a
go
good
to Modern
measure.
Town Park and then
It's a
just
good
take
measure,
like, yeah.
and it's a good start. It's
Yeah.
a good measure. It's a good start. So I would encourage anything that encourages someone to
But
be active.
I've seen like the people who come to your place are like young people, because
not just young people, but people who are conscious about what they're eating.
What they're eating,
We have
yeah,
a lot
right?
of clientele from Karachi. We have a
Oh,
lot
amazing.
of clientele from Islamabad. We've
Amazing.
been approached with regards to franchises already because they understand the brand, they understand the
Exactly.
portion sizes and
Yeah,
the control.
yeah.
They understand the concept. It's very difficult for us to kind of obviously cater to everybody, and
Yeah.
not everyone is going to like it.
Yeah.
Invariably.
That's what I'm
but-
saying. The masses still need to know about, like calorie counted
I think
meals.
so. I
yeah.
think what would help is that if all menus maybe included a sort of a certain calorie count, ताकि
Yeah.
लोगों को idea भी हो
But
के-
do you guys have juices which you keep at shape so people can just buy off?
So basically, we have a kiosk there that is currently being redone and
Okay.
renovated. So
Okay.
we will be having a grab and go
Okay.
outlet from Shapes because a lot of our members have been asking. It was a very
Exactly,
big convenience.
right?
After
Yeah.
the gym, you grab your
Yeah.
meal and you're sort of
It's
on your way.
on your own, right?
So a lot of people people have sort of messaged us regarding that, so that's something that we've looked into, and we have in the pipeline.
And also, people say that you gain weight because of stress.
That's very true.
I
That's
mean,
very
it's
true.
on different parts of your body. It's the stress that makes you gain that weight. It's the way, I mean, it's your anxiety and your
It's
depression,
absolutely
which
true.
actually, it's even if you eat less and if you're walking, it's the stress that really gets. How do you need to,
I
get
think that
over?
so
Yeah,
basically everything is inextricably linked.
Yeah.
So from when we talk about health and wellness, we're also talking about your mental health as well. It's a
Exactly.
big chunk.
Yeah.
So if you're going to the gym, people feel accomplished. They feel like their body feels good. They release natural endorphins.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you're eating, you're feeling like, yeah, I wanna eat clean as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have like a blip on the radar. You go out, social events hote hain, you know, indulge, which is
Exactly.
fine. But so long as you can accept that, you have some kind of routine. You know, you're giving yourself, your body, your mind, you're giving that time to unwind, and physical
But
exercise.
it's not
is the
up to you,
best.
right? Okay, stress is just, anxiety
You
is
must
just
be
there.
aware of the fact
Yeah.
that these situations cause you stress, but there's only so much that you can
Yeah,
do.
that's what I always say, that there's so much, just let it.
I mean, I had a
let
lot
it-
of stress as well when
Yeah.
I had obviously come to Lahore, because it was a
Yeah,
very big
move.
It was
Yeah,
a very
I can
big move.
Yeah.
It was very difficult for me to sort of, I guess, align with people, because
Yeah.
I was so different. I was raised very differently.
Yeah.
I have different priorities, but I did yoga, and that really helped me sort of keep me grounded.
And there's so many places now that you can, go
It's
for
just
your yoga
there's
classes.
yoga now, there's
Yeah.
Pilates now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we never had before that now are being introduced in our society. And I feel like if you give that due and care to your body, to your mind, you need to take some time out to unwind and kind of just give yourself a time out and relax.
Exactly,
People in
exactly.
Lahore don't do that.
No,
and I
don't
feel
do
like
that, you're
that's
right.
when your anxiety and stress really
Yeah,
you
and
know,
they get depression and stress on over like small, which
it's
don't
very
even matter.
insignificant.
Yeah, right.
It's very insignificant.
Yeah.
I feel like you really need to look at the bigger picture,
Bigger picture, and have faith in
perspective.
God.
And have faith,
Whatever
absolutely.
happens, it'll happen. Just
Whatever
go with the
works,
flow, right?
I'm like non-judgmental, but I feel like whatever works for
People are very judgmental these days.
in Lahore. Yes, they are.
Everywhere, actually. It's
Yeah.
not even like it's everywhere. They need to judge, they make it a point
But you
to judge.
just have
actually.
to realize that you have your own space. You turn that sort of
Yeah.
lens inwards. Focus on improving yourself,
Right,
improving your
exactly.
diet, and it doesn't matter what people
Yeah.
are saying, because at the end of the day, if you know you're benefiting your long term, what else does it really matter?
Exactly.
At
Makes
the end of
sense,
the day,
yeah.
so you got to be strong enough to sort of.
And are you going to be opening anything in defense? Because I live in
Of
defense.
course, of course.
Not in phase 8, that's too far away from my
No,
house. by
no.
the way.
We are definitely looking at places, and inshallah, we definitely have that on the cards.
And you guys are do takeout also?
We do delivery, takeout.
Okay.
We do meal plans
Okay.
still, and I think it's on the cards, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nada. It was lovely talking to you. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this show, and I will. I hope you liked all her tips that she gave us today, and you guys will check out Noon Bistro when you go to Lahore. It's an amazing place. I love the food.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed yourself also, little one. Okay. So, as we heard from Nada, that eating healthy and going to the gym and counting your calories, it's the best way to stay fit. So now you guys can, have a balanced lifestyle. You can, uh, walk or go to the gym thrice a week, count your calories, eat healthy. Uh, every menu now has, especially when you go abroad, has their calories written on under every dish. I don't know if this happens in Pakistan. I don't think so this happens in Pakistan, but I'm sure they're going to start doing it, hopefully, all the restaurants based over here. But it's just that it's a healthy way of life is to just don't take stress, anxiety, hang in there. Everything happens for a reason. Whatever has to happen has to happen. तो इसमें स्ट्रेस लेने से वो चीज़ ख़त्म तो नहीं हो जाएगी. तो आप ज़्यादा अपने आप को बीमार कर दोगे. सो बेहतर है कि हेल्दी रहने के लिए यू शुड ऑलवेज स्टे पॉजिटिव and enjoy your life. And as she said, also protein shakes are also very important. It's better to take a lot of protein. It helps you maintain your weight and feel good about yourself. Go to the gym. If you don't want to ask your trainer to help you out, there are also many gyms in Pakistan, where the trainers do come at home now. And many women are now, girls especially, are doing many Pilates classes. And so join them in. And Nada is also there, and her husband is also a part of Shapes. So, if you guys want to join Shapes, they will be there to help you out. And so just you know uh, help yourself out, get up even if you're feeling down, and don't worry about anything that's going to happen. Start your day with a beautiful smile. And I shall see you. This is me, Amara Ahmed from Amzzstoptalking, signing off. I shall see you again next week with an exciting episode. Stay tuned. Thank you.